This is Dr. Dawn Nicole here, and today I want to talk about a very controversial subject in business that I've been talking about since probably 2015, but I don't think I've ever done a video on this topic, and that, my friends, is value versus worth. The reason I call this controversial is because in waking life and in mindset practice, right? And a lot of our self help gurus will use the term value and worth, and they use it interchangeably. And they teach us to love ourselves and to value ourselves and to know our worth, right? And all of this is truly, truly important when it comes to our personal life and our waking life and how we see ourselves. However, business, as you know, has an entirely different set of principles. And today I want to break down the difference between value versus worth in business. Now, before we get started, if you don't know who I am or what I do, I'm Dr. Dawn Nicole, CEO of a company called ProcuraFind. And ProcuraFind is one of the fastest growing online communities and platforms for small businesses looking to get connected to corporate contracts faster. Go to www.procurafind.com to learn more. That's procurafind.com. By the way, if you like content like this, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on any awesome content like this. Now, this is the thing about value versus worth. And this is where we have it wrong in business. Because while in life it's okay to value yourself and put the worth on yourself, in business it is very different. The first thing to understand in business is that value is established and set by the creator, the manufacturer, the person who creates the widget, the thing, whether it's a pair of jeans, whether it's an online course, right? Whether it is a mastermind, a master class, right? A physical product, a dresser. Value is established and created initially by the creator. However, worth is always determined by the consumer, the buyer. Just because you set the value at X does not mean that everyone is going to agree with the worth or that your value will be worth the same to everybody. And here, my friends, there lies the problem. So I'm going to break this down a little bit more. And I used to always teach this in 2015, and I recently realized this is worth bringing back. Value versus worth. So let's break down, according to Dr. Dawn Nicole, my definition and how I explain this to business owners in a way that helps them to establish the value properly. So your value in business is the cost of the result that you cause or create. So I'm going to say it again. It's the cost associated with the result that your thing, your widget, your solution causes or creates, or the cost of the problem you solve. Value. Okay. So this cup, if I create this cup and I say, hey, this cup is valued at $7.99 a pop, right? And the reason it is because the cost of my cup solution, it looks like a cup, but it really keeps my coffee hot for up to 5 hours because I have some kind of thermal science going on. What is the value of that? I value this cup as the creator of $7.99, right? And as a discount, maybe I allow it to sell for $4.99, but I've established value. However, worth is what someone else is willing to pay, buy it for, or invest. Okay, same thing. So, and oftentimes we get mad because we've established our value, but someone else doesn't see the worth, and then we want to like go off on them or cuss them out. But here's where it becomes not worth it. Using the same cup analogy, if I'm not a coffee drinker, this is not worth the same to me as a coffee drinker. I don't really drink hot beverages. Let's just say, clearly I do, right? But let's just say that I don't drink hot beverages. And so this same cup at $7.99, well, it's valued at $7.99. It's not worth much to someone who doesn't need to keep their drinks hot for 5 hours, okay? But someone who is an avid coffee drinker would love this. They would see the worth right away. This is why I always use this analogy. In the mall, there's a pair of designer jeans. The jeans are priced and valued at $299 because they have this ultra fiber. That means you don't have to wash them as much. If you don't have to wash them as much because they're already hygienic and allergenic free, and you can tell I don't do this, right? I don't do the jean market, but I'm just saying, if I use fibers, that means you can wash the jeans less. That means the quality stays higher longer, okay? And then it has these beads, and then it has this custom cloth from India. Right. And so now, as the designer, I valued my jeans at $299. We've got to thank today's sponsors, our new online cares program, a 5-point formula for small businesses who are ready to compete for contracts at the highest level. If you are serious about getting in the game of contracting, but you don't know the lingo, maybe you won your first contract, but you want to know your next contract, you want to be intentional, then this course is for you. It is a 3.5-hour course with participant guides, knowledge checks, and so much more that helps you deep dive into the contracting opportunity market. From there, it's going to help you assess your ideal corporations. What do you research on? How do you find them? How do you get in front of multiple clients every single month? And how do you take the conversation from their supplier portal to LinkedIn to booking the call? We're also going to teach you how to respond to those RFPs like a pro. And we're going to teach you how to evaluate your ecosystem so that you are always ready. You don't have to get ready. Then with the S, we're going to teach you how to put together your supplier plan over the next 90 days so you can execute like a pro. The course allows you to deep dive at a self-paced level. You're going to love it. You get access for a lifetime. What are you waiting for? Thanks to our sponsors again of the CARES program, new online course. Two people walk by the rack. Person number one walks by, they touch the jeans, and they say, oh my God, I know exactly what type of jeans these are. I've been looking for jeans like this, and it's only $299. That is so worth it. This is where you start to see consumers will use the word worth it. They don't say this is worth value, right? They say this is so worth it. I would get these jeans in a heartbeat. Meanwhile, person number two walks by and they say, this is so not worth it for $299. I can get similar jeans for $50. I don't care that much about this. So while your value is set, right, their ability to see the value and to determine the worth shouldn't change your value. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Just because person number two doesn't see the worth of the value doesn't make your offer any less valuable. It just means that's not your person, right? Because value is set by you, worth is determined by your consumer. So the more that we start to understand this, that value is set by the cost of the result that we cause or create or the problem we solve. We set that initial value, and now consumers come and they determine what it is worth to them. And this, my friends, are the basic fundamentals of business and marketing. And this is why we have issues sometimes with value versus worth, because we're using value and worth from a very traditional mindset life approach. And in business, this is not about life. This is about business. Okay. So while that works in your life, remember value versus worth is drastically different when it comes to business. You set the value, they determine the worth. And if they can't see that you are worth the value, then you can keep on, maintain your value even when they don't see the worth. That's the goal. Listen, if you've enjoyed this content, if you like videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe so that you never miss out on any great content. And with that, Dr. Dawn Nicole signing off. Take care.